Hey guys, how's it going? Fluffy Man from the pizza department here with another mission Slumber Valley for Luna's World Tour. What Luna's World Tour is, it is a guide to each mission as Luna. I'm going to complete the operation at 240, 250 kill score percentage. However, we seem to keep hitting 240%. Having a very hard time finding 250s. I would very much like to get them, but it's what it is. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to cover each mission. I've already got 3 knocked out. This will be number 4. So let's get to it. So Luna's been getting a lot of flack for just not being like as good as Bunny, or just not as utilized or capable. So for what this guide, the guide of this, the purpose of my guide, excuse me, holy crap, I can't talk, is to show that Luna is completely capable and able to complete these missions in a fairly decent time. I will I will say though that you will have quicker completions and it'll be a little bit easier on you to play a bunny, but this is for the people that really want to push Luna to her limits. So that's what this guide's for. So just a breakdown for Luna. Uh, you're gonna hear this a lot through these videos because it's gonna be the big part of Luna. You're gonna be looking for 3 things. 1, you're keeping your AoE up. 2, you're looking for your line of sight to be able to do damage and not take damage. And the third is really just keeping your shield up to mitigate the damage. So AoE damage for and combos, line of sight, and watching your shield. Your shield's taking your damage for you. See what we've got: almost 1600 in shield and 8000 in health. So normally that'd be a little squishy, but the speed we recuperate kind of mitigates that. We heal up our damage just as quick as we take it for our shields. As long as we are kiting around and not just face tanking everything, we're actually not really that squishy. We can stand toe to toe with a lot of enemies for a good portion of time. So you'll see right here, I'm utilizing her range versus her AoE, and that's because they're pretty far out. And we will AoE when they get close, and I'm going to take this time to actually get it built up. So when we need to use it, it'll be there, like right now. So all these mobs jumped on, and they went right back down. That guy went right down. And honestly, you really don't want to be using your ability weapon too much. You really want to be focusing on the AoE. But in special cases like this, if you want to, go for it. There's going to be no harm to it. Just make sure to AoE everything when it starts getting close, so you can get your stacks back up and keep your shield recovered. Your AoE, the terrain doesn't really affect it, so you're pretty well good to use it on almost any terrain. Every now and then it'll get a little buggy, but that's once in a blue moon. Right here, we don't have that issue. Also, if you're not too sure your score, you can always hop off of the pad and get a few more kills. There is a shortcut right here, but I'm gonna just take the long way. Yeah. So I took the long way for selfish reason. I just wanted to take a drink and snack on my snack for a second while I continued on. That's just me being lazy. So these events are really awesome. We just stay in the circle and defend. Our radius, if we've got it fully upgraded, will damn near cover the whole thing. So really, we don't have anything to worry about. The terrain's at a position where we can hit everything, and all we're gonna do is run around. not get hit by the orbital bombardments, and just do damage. A lot of the enemies you're going to face here are going to be melee, so you're not going to have a whole lot to worry about. You will get a few elite ranged, but we're going to be able to heal that damage up no problem. Something to worth noting, if you're playing this in a group, if you're rushing this and one person's far behind, you will fail the mission if they don't get here quickly. That bar drains really quickly. So keep that in mind if you're playing with the group. Make sure everybody's caught up with you, otherwise that's going to go down. You're going to have to restart the mission. Yeah, as you can see, we're just dodging everything, hitting everything. It's a good time. Losing a little bit of our shield, which we'll get that back here in a second once we get this combo caught up. Something like if you're having issues with keeping your combo moving around, my suggestion to you is just kind of aim at the pathway you want to go. Don't really focus in too much on aiming exactly at your enemy, just kind of the general direction. Your AoE is going to pick them up, especially if you've got range on it. If you're playing like a midway built Luna, you should definitely have that range for it. If not, I'd recommend moving some things around just so you have the range. You might lose a little bit of damage, but that'll be okay. As long as you can hit everything, you're able to kite, actually get that damage out from the range, and keep your shield going. So moving on to this next area. Oh boy, I hate these things so much. Could have went there, but I hesitated. So we'll go over the bridge. Oh, almost had it. Close enough. It knocked us through. So something else cool with Luna is you don't necessarily, if you for whatever reason decided to shoot at him from range, you don't have to be necessarily aiming at him. Just make sure you're close enough in the box and it'll auto target him. I'll show you another cool trick to getting your score up. So if you're concerned about score, you can sit up here, let these guys come to you. Just don't pick up their biometric codes, and I recommend staying up here instead of going down there. It's a little bit easier. But if you want to go down there to get their code, to kill them but not get their codes, that's perfectly fine. We'll chill up here for a second. I'll show you what I mean. They'll just start spawning in. Hey, look, we got a couple more. Yeah, you can sit there and do that as long as you want. Well, there'll come a time where they're going to stop, but if you need to get your score up, that's the way you can do it. I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys with getting my score up there. We're going to go ahead and just come down here and get our codes. Yep, just sit up. Well, yeah, you can just sit up there and snipe them down. You'll be good to go. Get your codes, get your points. That way you can get your 2 patterns at the end of the mission. Honestly, if we don't get our patterns because of our score, I'm not too concerned about it. I mostly just want to complete the world tour and show you guys how to complete the missions. If that is something of a concern to you, going forward, I will try and make sure to show you spots where you can recoup your score on a mission. Generally, it's going to be events with timers on them or events where you have to get a certain amount of codes or something. Alright, so here's the boss fight. And with Luna, here is what we are going to be looking for. So we got a little bit of terrain here. I'm looking for pillar-like areas I can use to kite the boss around. So it's looking like this is going to do right here. So we're going to just be big chilling over here. That way he has to come to us and we're going to just be able to do a lot of damage to him. We will have a skill check with this ability, so really just watching and dodging that and then getting back to your pillar. So the way you'll know that that's coming down is I will show you when the next one is coming. So just watching that, when it gets close to the edge of the bar, it'll start blinking and then you can dodge it. Don't be like me and dodge into the pillar. So I'm going to try on this. I'm curious if our shield will take most of the damage here. So I'm not going to dodge. I'm going to see what our shield can do with that. All right, so our shield can pretty well tank it. That's good to know. So if we don't really feel like dealing with the mechanic, we'll just let our shield do the work. To be honest with you, there's a few health potions here, so I can do that. But let's see. We'll use this one. There we go. See, dodge that one just fine. For the sake of the video, I am going to try and dodge it and pretend like my gear is maybe lesser, so we have to be more focused on what we're doing and just not trying to face tank everything like we talked about earlier. So I'll continue to try and dodge them even though I don't have to. There we go. Yep, so right when it starts blinking, if you get that get that roll, you'll be good. All right, we'll go and use these boxes now. Yeah, that's really the only big mechanic to worry about with him. He's got a shotgun, so just staying behind the pillar, not letting him hit you is just the big thing here. All right. Oh, dodged that a little too soon, but we're fine. There we go. There's another boss kill. Appreciate you guys for watching. Let's see what our time was. So we did that 10 minutes, 18 seconds. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video for the world tour. Again, I will be covering all the maps. I'll try and release these on a daily. I've already got 4 pre-recorded, counting this one. Please take care.